Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm going to be doing my final reflections presentation. I believe this is a rough draft. So anyway, my name's Jordan McCrae. If you're watching this and don't know why I'm doing it, this is for my MDS 300 Communicating Universally class at Boise State. So we'll be covering my background today, kind of who I am, where I came from, what it was like to be college round one, then between then and now. So once I took a break from college to getting back into college, my new adventures and what the MDS degree hopefully is going to do for me. IDP, my individual degree plan, as they call it in this class, which is just going to be kind of what my goals and what classes are going to be when I get my degree or how I'm going to get it, and then what I want to do beyond my degree or beyond school. So my background, who is Jordan McCrae? I was born in 1987. I'm a Pisces. I grew up in Boise, Idaho. I love being outside. I got my Eagle Scout sometime in high school. I love to teach and I love to mentor. So when we kind of go through some of the things I'm doing now, you'll kind of see bits and pieces of that. I got married to my beautiful wife Kayla in 2012. We had our first son Boof. His real name's Buford, named after my grandpa, who was born in 2015. And then Bryson joined us February 27th of this year. There's a picture of me and my wife and our two dogs. The one on the left with my wife is Maggie, and Charlie's the one that's just way too excited to see me. So college round one on my own, University of Idaho. So I graduated high school in 2005. Right afterwards, I spent the summer in Alaska mowing lawns for a private contractor on some facilities for the government. It was kind of a good time, good way to get away from the folks. Then I went to University of Idaho. There I studied chemical engineering. I joined the Fiji fraternity, or Phi Gamma Delta. And really, what I learned most there was that college was a lot different than I thought. I was told all through high school that it'd be much of the same, and I don't know if I was quite ready for all that independence yet. So I think I needed a little bit more structure at the time. So after my freshman year, I enlisted into the Army National Guard, Idaho Army National Guard. So I went the fall semester. I did during the summer, and then I went to the fall semester back up at U of I. And then during the spring semester, I went to basic training. So I did that and finished sometime in between summer. So it was a good time. I'm really glad I did it. I did really well there in the Army and the Guard. I was a Bradley tank driver, which is what you see pictured right here. So that was a lot of fun. And then did so well that I submitted a packet in 2007 to become a helicopter pilot for the Guard. So that was about a year into my career with the Army. So got accepted, did the board in 2007, got accepted right away. I left in November to Fort Rucker, Alabama on my own, which is kind of a cool experience for a 21-year-old. I spent 2 years at Fort Rucker, Alabama, which is in the middle of nowhere, and it really is pretty similar to Deliverance if you've ever seen that movie. So the first helicopter I learned to fly was a TH-67, which is what you see pictured here. It's basically a Bell 206, or what you consider like a news chopper whenever they show a news chopper in the movies. And then after that, I graduated to the AH-64 Apache Longbow, and that was a really good time. It's as fun as it sounds. And I also bought my first house in Enterprise, Alabama, which was the town outside of Fort Rucker. So got out of flight school and I kind of went into the Guard mostly full time. Wasn't quite a 40-hour a week job at right initially, but spent about 6 years there and dabbling in other things initially. So here's the Apache pictured. Super fun to fly. We just got rid of them in Idaho, but up until last summer, you've probably seen them all the time flying around. Did really well at the gunnery portion. Every year we'd have an annual gunnery competition, practice shooting tanks, moving targets, whatnot. I excelled in that. It was super fun. Unfortunately, I never got to deploy. Always wanted to until I got married, and then really had no desire to. Thus, I'm not in anymore because don't really want to do that. So made lifelong friends. And it was really something that helped my real estate career, which is what I'm going to talk about next. I built the relationships, and I strongly believe that networking is the key to getting success in life or getting to the next place that you want to get to. It's really about who you know. So anyway, I also spent about 12 months with a really high-paying job with the Army, and it was a great thing for me to go through because I learned that my personality doesn't really want the security of a job. I really like having to go out and make my money every single day, which is why I'm in sales now. So I started into real estate in 2013 and got out of the guard and as a full-time person and went back to just a 1 week in a month type job. In 2015, I started my own brokerage, and that's been going really well. That's where I'm at right now. That's the office we're in. Currently, we just hired our 30th agent this month, and we're on pace to sell about $50 million worth of real estate in Treasure Valley. So, super excited about that. Obviously, real estate's booming, so timing couldn't have been better. And I also developed a passion for contract law. So, I really like the details. I never thought of myself as a detail person, but I really got into the details and really found out I enjoy them. So other business meant to have a photo of our Photoshop, but you can picture a Photoshop. It's just a little lab. So anyway, I'm getting into real estate business coaching. I love working with new agents. If any of you have ever considered a career in real estate, please contact me. I'd love to chat with you more about it. But I love helping people just come up with the ideas of how they think they're going to market and what they can commit to. So it's really just like physical fitness coaching or whatnot. Like I'm there to help make sure that they reach their goals, not to do the work for them. With that, I also do a little bit of business consulting for some friends of mine all across the valley that have .com businesses as well as Norco type business that started up. So I help them out, brainstorm, do some different things with them. And then I've really gotten into commercial real estate investing lately. It's just kind of a fun deal. It's different than residential investing because uh, you don't have to stress about it as much. So I've started that in about last year and hope to learn a lot more. I've also owned and sold already a lawn mowing business. It was very particular. It only did foreclosed properties. So these were vacant properties that the bank owned. So we had large contracts with banks that would pay us to just mow the lawn once a week and keep maintenance on the property. I had a partner in that and then just sold to him. Just got a little too busy and wanted to do some other things. I was mostly just doing paperwork and that. And then we bought the Photo Lab, Timeless Photo and Portraits, about a year ago. So 2016, April 2016, and that's been going really good. We do business portraits. We do a lot of sports photography for like little kids, PAL sports program, little leagues, things like that. So that's been a really good challenge because I'm not really involved too much in that business. So I'm more of just an owner and a director in it, and it's kind of been fun to learn how to do business on that side of things. So now I got a little bit of free time and I wanted to finish my degree, and I also really wanted to go to law school. So I spent all winter kind of researching that. So I wrestled with that idea and said, it's probably now as good a time as any. So found out some things, made some calls, thought it was the perfect time to start a new adventure in my life. So anyway, what I discovered is they have this new program called the 3 and 3 program, and what that means is law school is 3 years. So if you complete 3 years of your 4-year degree of your undergraduate, then they'll count the first year of law school as your 4th year of your undergraduate. It's kind of a weird deal, but a little loophole. So I looked more into that and I found out all I had to take was this MDS class as well as one of those art electives. So I'm probably going to take Art 102, but I've also heard good things about the theater class. So any suggestions you guys have for that, I'd love to hear them. And then all I have to do on top of that is get a good LSAT score, which I'll be taking hopefully in December. Spend all next semester studying for that, and then I'll probably take the art class in spring and roll right into law school in 2018 fall. So that's what my plan is. I'm here mostly just to go to the next program, but I've kind of enjoyed this class and enjoyed jumping back into school. So part of what we have to talk about is my IDP and my individual degree plan. So I put up my program outcome goals. I won't spend too much time on that, but part of what I'm looking to get is really focus on studying for the LSAT. My GPA is not the greatest, and University of Idaho has a matrix that says if your GPA is this, then here's your LSAT score that you have to get in order to probably get into school. So I'm going to need a 160 to feel confident to get into school. Probably doesn't mean much to anyone, but it's somewhat attainable, but it will take a few months of studying to get. So that's in one of my goals here. And then, part of the other goal that I had was just to jump back into school and learn some things about myself and how school would be. And so far, I'm pretty pleased. It seems a lot easier than it was when I was 20 years old. So as far as my courses go, on the right-hand side, they're all dictated to me for law school, but I did focus and justify them, focused on the ones that sounded the most fun and what I hope to get out of them. So just besides just the law degree. So as you can see, civil procedure, that's just talking about how you're going to act inside of a courtroom. Properties, dealing with, as you can imagine, property. And that can kind of play into real estate, which is what I think I'm going to do with real estate, or with my law degrees, is practice real estate law. Torts, that's how to sue somebody. Contracts, again, that will really focus on that and really help me in law school. And then criminal law, that just sounds fun. That's what half the TV shows are about these days. So I look forward to learning about that. So after law school, beyond school, BSU to finishing law school. So I'll complete my first year of law school. Then during that summer, I'll take that MDS final capstone class, and then they'll hand me my degree, and then I can go finish the other 2 years. So I won't, in my mind, quite be done. I'll have 2 more years, but that first year of law school is supposed to be the worst. I'm reading a book right now that talks about it, and I look forward to it, but it will be challenging. So got my work ahead of me. And then the other 2 summers, I hope to do some clerkships. They're kind of like internships, but you got to have a legal background. And I'm hoping that I can try to find one outside of Boise, Idaho, other than Enterprise, Alabama. I haven't lived too many places, so I'd like to take the family somewhere, maybe do something in like Orlando and spend my off time in Disney World or something. So, and then I also hope to learn about different parts of the law that I would like to specialize in. One is obviously real estate. Patent law, I was told I would do well with that since I have a chemical engineering background and a lot of my credits are in that. And then estate planning, and that's about wills and trusts and stuff. And the reason that sounds interesting is just because it's rather boring. So that sounds awesome to me, that I'll just make some documents and write them up and help people through that process. But at 5 o'clock, I can check out and go spend time with my family. So that's important to me now. Also, what can I do with the law degree? So I can become a full-time attorney. Something else that kind of interests me is work as a lobbyist, somebody that helps negotiate deals within, the state senate and house. I'd like to maybe leverage that education in real estate. I hope that somebody that is looking to use me as a realtor would be more likely to use me with a law degree. Might look into running for a public office, perhaps write a book. I'm hoping that it'll give me the discipline I need to be a little bit more disciplined into finishing stuff like big projects such as writing a book. I might just open up a new business and not even really use it other than just the general education. So, and I'll just always be looking for new opportunities. It's kind of in my personality to do that. So anyway, through this slide in there, I know there's nobody that can send me a question since this is a recording, but I think it's always good to have that in a presentation, and that's really what we're practicing. So anyway, hope you don't mind. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. I know I drowned on a little long. It's about 14 and a half minutes, but I appreciate it. I've had fun in this class, and hope to talk to you guys more outside of it. Thanks again. Oh, I'm back. I forgot one thing. I realize you can't read my board. I was hoping that you guys could see my funny quote, but it's kind of a good quote I thought for this class. So it turns out being an adult is mostly just Googling how to do stuff. So I think it's actually pretty true, though, that we just need to learn how to teach ourselves, and the best place to start is Google. Anyway, have a great day.